trying to work his way up. But now you have to watch the guys in third, fourth, and fifth. Rodman has a problem. Rodman's going into the wall, and Craig Rodman in the number 2. Something must have broken on the car. NASCAR goes to yellow. We are in a yellow flag condition at lap number 22, and something, Barry, must have broke in Craig Rodman's car, because it just completely shot straight up the racetrack, very similar to the Ernie Irvin crash in Michigan. He was in the corner. Everything was okay. Here's a shot of it. Severe right side damage to the Advantage Memory Dave Reed Racing Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And for Craig Rodman, who was running in the 4th position with 23 laps in the books, this one's going to be a long stop on pit road, and hopefully he can get it back underway. But Rodman's having some trouble right now. Pace car picks him back up now as you see your leader, Sean Woodside, the 76 Firebird recycled used oil 07 Pontiac. Leading the way here at Mesa Marin, Kevin Harvick in spot number 2. And behind him is Gary Smith in that Bill McAnally-owned Napa Chevrolet. And then following him is the 28 of Gary Collins. And there's a good shot now of Rodman. And we talked about tire wear. This is it, Barry.
Well, the other thing about Craig Rodman is in practice earlier today, he actually lost a tire. They forgot to screw down the lug nuts. He lost a tire, scraped a lot of, did a lot of damage under the undercarriage of the car. And you got to wonder whether there's still damage there. And that's what eventually happened. Something got weak and broke going into turn 2.
Well, tough break for Craig Rodman as the Advantage Memory team getting some help now by the Mesa Marin Raceway Rescue crew. And unfortunately for him, it looks like it's going to be a very short night. We'll find out exactly what happened with David Stanfield when they get that race car into the pit area.
With the Rodman crash, the red flag comes out, and we'll be back with more of the Re-Refined Oil 200 at Mesa Marin Raceway.
Enterprise rent a car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
On the football field, I can smell fear a mile away. And here I smell fear, too. And it stinks.
But I ain't it. I'm afraid to try Zest body wash.
Listen, smelly boy. Zest gets you cleaner, more refreshed.
But I ain't it. I need some serious lather.
Look here. It takes 9 bars to get as much cleaner rinsing lather as Zest body wash with lather thingy.
Get cleaner, more refreshed with Zest body wash.
Now that's zestfully clean.
When you find yourself trying to fix something in a tight, dimly lit spot, you can now shed some light on the job with the Craftsman Bright Driver.
It's the first cordless screwdriver with a built-in work light, and it's available only from Sears. The Bright Beam is great for working in any hard-to-light area. You won't have to hassle with extension cords or flashlights again. And the Craftsman Bright Driver has another valuable feature you won't find in most cordless screwdrivers: an adjustable torque clutch, so you won't strip screws or damage surfaces. The bit stops rotating when the screws reach the proper depth. Use a lower torque setting for lighter duty jobs. And for higher torque needs, just rotate the cap. With its 2.4-volt motor, the Craftsman Bright Driver has the power you need for most household projects, like replacing hinges. Even cedar siding won't stop the Bright Driver. The forward-reverse switch is conveniently located and locks off for charging. The slim design is lightweight and durable. The wrist strap keeps it handy, too. The Craftsman Bright Driver is only $19.99, and because it's from Sears, you know your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. The Bright Driver is perfect for all kinds of household jobs, like assembling furniture and putting up blinds. The Bright Driver comes with 2 sizes of double-ended bits, Phillips on one end and slotted on the other, plus a spare bulb. And with its charging stand, the Bright Driver is ready to work when you are. All of these features in one cordless screwdriver make the Craftsman Bright Driver a real value, and at only $19.99, a great gift, too. It's another innovative example of how Craftsman makes anything possible. When loose screws hide in the shadows, shed some light on the job with the Craftsman Bright Driver. You'll never be left in the dark again. Call now and order yours.
Have your Sears card or other credit card ready and call 1-800-840-1919 to order your Craftsman Bright Driver for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-840-1919. That's 1-800-840-1919. Call now.
Here's what's coming up next on Full Speed Friday. Live NASCAR qualifying from Phoenix. Mark Martin tries to make one last run to catch championship leader Jeff Gordon. Full Speed Fridays on Speedvision, where speed lives.
Hi, I'm Ricky Rudd, and you're watching Speedvision.
We're back at Mason Marin Raceway, the NASCAR Winston West Series re-refined oil 200. If these cars look and sound like Winston Cup, that's by design rather than coincidence. With a $750,000 burst, it's been rejuvenated. The NASCAR Winston West Series, one of the most exciting new race series on the block.
The NASCAR Winston West Series is really what makes it so unique is it's basically the same car as a NASCAR Winston Cup car. So the nice part for the competitors is when they strap in, when they go racing, they're actually getting themselves into the same type of vehicle that the marquee division of NASCAR, so to speak, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, it gives them that seat time. It gives them a little edge over a lot of the other touring series because they're running basically the same type of equipment. And the nice part about it, the competitors love it, the teams love it, the sponsors love it, but those fans are the ones that are going to be, they're going to reap the benefits of the entire package. And that's what it's all about. It's all about that entertainment value. And we're seeing that more and more. We're seeing the quality of equipment, the quality of competitors, and it's just something I've never seen in this series in recent history.
Dennis Huth, Vice President for Administration, NASCAR, commenting on some of the great opportunities in the NASCAR Winston West, including some great sponsor opportunities. And here's Kevin Harvick accepting some of his halfway award money for being the point leader.
Well, we've been involved in this sport with the Winston West Series since 1974. It hadn't grown for years and years, but it is bursting at the seams now. It's growing, and we're very excited. And it seems like it takes money to make it grow. The sponsors see that there's a good opportunity to get their name in the spotlight and be involved with an up-and-coming great series. And it, as I said before, the same rules as the Winston Cup drivers have. So, we'll call this the mini Winston Cup Series.
Cars coming back to life as we clean up after the Craig Rodman incident up in the crash wall in turn number 3. And Barry, these guys getting ready to go racing again to continue this re-refined oil 200.
Well, Rodman, you see the damage on the right front. He had trouble in practice earlier on in the afternoon practice, and I'll tell you what, there may have been something still broken on that number 2.
Well, obviously a lot of front-end damage to the Advantage Memory Chevrolet, and they're going to lose a lot of laps in this pit stop. Here's a replay of it again. Rodman gets a little tap from Wayne Jacks. That sends him right up into the wall, and that starts a chain reaction. But the real problem here is Rodman just smacked the right front of that Chevrolet Monte Carlo. He's going to have a long fix on pit road. Let's find out what really happened. David Stanfield has caught up with Craig Rodman, the driver of the Advantage Memory Chevrolet.
Well, Larry, I got Craig here. I believe you were in 4th position at that incident. Okay, turn 1, turn 2. In between there, you went high. What happened? Did you get tapped from behind?
No, drove off in there. We were running pretty hard there, and I just lost the right front tire. I must have punctured, ran over something. The tire just went out. The car dropped down, and I tried to stay out of the wall, but at that point, just going too fast and couldn't avoid it. So, Advantage Memory Monte Carlo's a little bit tore up right now. But we're going to get this thing fixed, and we're going to be back out in that race.
Now, that was a very good start, some good running. You got some competition out there. If you get back out there, what do you hope for?
All we can hope for right now is just to make up some points by being out there. Maybe some other people have some trouble and drop out. The car will never be anything like it was at the start of the race. We're just got to get out there and make up what points we can.
Okay, back to your crew. It looks like they're getting stuff done. Best of luck.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Oh, that's a forced smile right there out of Craig Rodman as he was hoping to contend for a victory, Barry.
Well, another guy who has a lot of experience out here at the track driving America's Choice re-refined oil, Gary Collins tonight, Chevy Monte Carlo number 28.
And the pace car pulls him down the back straightaway. It'll peel off and go down on pit road, and then it's up to Sean Woodside to pick the pace back up and resume the re-refined oil 200 here at Mason Marin. And cars coming deep and fast from the bottom of the racetrack. Eric Norris making his move. And Woodside's playing a game of cat and mouse with David Lee Lineker. Remember, they can't pass him. And Woodside takes off. Liniger takes off. A little bit of contact back there. So a rough start for Sean Woodside as he tried to hold off the advances of Kevin Harvick, and Liniger almost got his lap back, Barry.
He sure did, but you know that restart. Sean Woodside played a few games with Kevin Harvick. That's going to happen a whole lot more tonight.
And they're 3 wide going into turn number 1, now going through turn number 2. And on the bottom of that was Pappy Pryor, Kelly Tanner, the number 40. And Jeff Davis in the number 4 go side by side into turn 1 as they work their way off of turn 2. Leader is Sean Woodside in the 07-76 Firebird Motor Oil race car. He's getting hammered on now by Kevin Harvick as they go down very low on the racetrack. And we got one sideways, and it's a 28 of Gary Collins, and he hits the front stretch wall, scattering everybody. And a good job of driving by Gary Collins as he was able to keep his car from really hitting the wall hard. He had it almost saved, and obviously now the tow-in is out on that race car. He'll have to bring it back around. We are in lap number 34 under a yellow flag condition again, so in the 3rd caution period of the re-refined oil 200, and a tough break for Gary Collins, who at the outset, Barry, was considered one of the favorites to win this.
He had to be, and of course he was just in the pits with the damage, so you got to believe there's something that may have happened on the car. Also, this is a brand new car that they just got done the night before, haven't had much practice on the number 28.
And Gary has pulled it behind the garage stall, so obviously he's going back for some major work. Now there's a lot of laps left to go in this one. If Collins' team can get this thing back out there, they'll at least get it on the racetrack and try to earn some points. But a tough night for Gary Collins. You see he's got a Mason Rin stripe down the passenger side of that car. Not a good way to be as we continue circulating the race cars around here in this yellow flag lap. Lap number 35 of 200 down. Pace car is out, and we'll be back with more of the re-refined oil 200 right after this.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the play action. Try. All right. Thanks, Pop.
That's why now all calls under 30 seconds are free. Introducing Sprint Sense Anytime, where all calls are a dime a minute and calls under 30 seconds are on our dime. Call 1-800-410-6060. Because when you get Sprint Sense Anytime, all of your calls are just one unrestricted dime a minute.
They want to know when you're going to join the team. Make me an offer.
Anytime to anywhere.
Yeah, you coming to dinner Sunday?
I've got a game on Sunday, Pop.
That wasn't a question, son. I'll see you later.
Call now to sign up for Sprint Sense Anytime. Every call is just a dime a minute, and calls under 30 seconds are free. Call 1-800-410-6060 for Sprint Sense Anytime.
Thanks, Pop.
If you've ever wondered what guys like Fireball Roberts, Tim Flock, and Curtis Turner actually look like, or how they drove a race car, watch Speedvision all year long as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of NASCAR.
Welcome back to the re-refined oil 200 as we are in a yellow flag condition. Larry Naston and Barry McKeever, and you're going to get a little shot here with Gary Collins as he takes an incredible spin. Watch this. Well, you didn't even have to buy a ticket to Disneyland to get that e-ticket ride. Gary Collins hitting the fence. Crew now taking a look at all the damage to the race car, and obviously they'll try to get back into the race. Doesn't look like it's that severe, and we'll find out exactly what went wrong. Let's go down to David Stanfield on pit road with the driver, Gary Collins.
Thank you, Larry. Gary, not the night you expected, right? Let's talk about the start.
The start was good. You know, we were like the 6 of us running there real close, and it looked like it was going to be a good race there. And then the 98 or the 89 and 2 car got together, and the America's Choice Chevrolet just didn't have no hold to flying it. You know, we got into the 89 car, bit the front of it up a little bit, and the guys tried to fix it, and they really did a pretty good job of getting it fixed. But steering we had a little play in the steering wheel. We got loose down there trying to get underneath some traffic, get our lap back, and got sideways off of Ford and ended up back in the fence again. So it was a short night for the America's Choice Chevrolet.
the boys are a little upset when you actually pulled into the pits to the truck. They go, what's going on? They wanted to fix it, whatever.
Well, I knew how hard we hit. I knew it was in bad shape, and you know, we're not running for points, so it's better to probably park it while she's still in one piece.
Yeah, tough break for Gary Collins, but kind of good for us. It's going to be rough here.
You betcha. And Sean Woodside, remember on that last restart, played a few games with Kevin Harvick. Let's see if he does the same right here. Watch Harvick in the 75 and the 07 of Sean Woodside right there.
And there's Davey Lee Liniger right on the inside of him. He's the one who ran up on Woodside. I think Woodside thought it was Harvick coming at him, and he just backed off the throttle. Remember, it's up to Woodside to control the pace. Another thing we got to think about now as we go to this green flag restart is the pit window. It's going to change. They've run so many laps under yellow that this is actually going to change the length of time they can stay out on the racetrack, because tire wear and fuel are not being consumed, or not going to be as big a factor in this first segment of pit stops. Normally, the pit flag window is about lap 65 or 70. Probably see them go upwards of 90 to almost 100 laps tonight before they have to come in for a pit stop, which will totally change the strategy of this race.
It also, and remember, it might even bring into the fact that they may even only change one pit stop and change tires one time. That is a possibility.
Big scramble back in the pack now as Kelly Tanner tries to work his way up off of Jerry Kane. Kane in the 71. Here comes Jeff Davis in the number 4. They're going around Liniger. There's Eric Norris, the son of TV star Chuck Norris, racing in the Prolong Racing Ford as they continue to battle around this racetrack here. Out in front, it is still the 07 of Sean Woodside, the former Saga Speedway late model champion. There's a good shot of Jerry Keane and Kelly Tanner going at it down the back straightaway. It's a long one here, Mason Red. Corners banked at 11 degrees here, straightaway on the back 6 degrees, on the front 4 degrees, and they get a lot of speed here at Mason Marin Raceway. Very fast half mile. In fact, qualifying speeds were in the upper 18s, which is just over 97 miles an hour as an average here at Mason Marin. Great shot of him coming into turn number 3. There's Tony Tost. Remember, he went a lap down early in the race. Jerry Kane now trying to work away from Kelly Tanner, and we get a shot down the front straightaway as the lead pack comes by.
Jerry Kane had contact with the wall in qualifying earlier on today, but it seems like the number 71 car is set and ready to go here under green.
The fight still remains. Woodside out in front, and we'll be right back right after this.
I notice you're sitting a little funny.
Well, my wallet's pretty thick. I carry a lot of credit cards.
Wow, why so many?
Well, this one's for work, this one's for emergencies. It's got a really high limit. This one I got because it's got clout. This one's got a pretty cool hologram. And all the others I was pre-approved for, so I figured, why not?
Well, now you can make that wallet a little thinner and your bank account a little fatter.
Oh, yeah? I'm listening and leaning.
Replace all those cards with the Bank One Platinum Visa card. One card with a low introductory rate of just 3.9%. No annual fee and a credit limit from $5,000 up to $100,000.
That's great. I'm paying around 18% on these cards.
Transfer the balances of those higher rate cards to our low 3.9% introductory rate, and you'll really save.
Wow.
After 6 months, it's an affordable 12.99% fixed annual percentage rate. You'll also get a year-end summary of your charges, collision coverage on your rental car, and emergency airline ticket replacement.
That's great.
Call now, and this versatile Monarch expandable portfolio, a $74 value, is free with your first purchase or balance transfer.
Well, let me get this straight. The Bank One Platinum Visa card's got a credit limit up to $100,000. I don't need that card. It's platinum. Talk about clout. It keeps track of all my expenses. It's great for work. And with a low rate, I don't need any of these. Wow, check out the wallet now. Very nice.
And you'll feel even better after you see your monthly statement. At 3.9%, the Bank One Platinum Visa could save you hundreds of dollars in interest.
No annual fee, low rate, better posture. I'm calling Bank One.
Call now to apply for your Bank One Platinum Visa card. Get an introductory 3.9% APR, credit limit up to $100,000, no annual fee, and this versatile Monarch portfolio free with your first purchase or balance transfer. Call 1-800-811-6329. That's 1-800-811-6329.
Welcome back to Mason Marin Raceway. The racing action hot and heavy. Larry Naston, Barry McKeever, all in the action from up high up above. But here's Kevin Harvick and Gary Smith going at it, battling real hard here at Mason Marin Raceway. Good good shot now as Gary Smith goes after Kevin Harvick side by side. It's a Chevrolet drag race down the back straightaway, and the Martin Senior Napa Chevrolet of Gary Smith is going to take the position as they head out of turn number 4. They're all chasing Sean Woodside. Woodside now with a 5-car length lead as they dive into turn 1. Woodside, Barry, has got a great line on this racetrack. He is just going anywhere he wants to go. But the battle now for position on the racetrack is Kevin Harvick and Austin Cameron.
Well, let's not forget back there sitting in 5th as well is the defending NASCAR Winston West Series champion. That is Butch Gilliland. But back up to the front, Sean Woodside knows his way around this track. He loves the half mile at Mesa Marin.
And if Butch Gilliland can work himself up, that would be quite amazing. Here comes Austin Cameron now. They are got a lapper in front of him. The 13 car blocking the road. That's Steve Almquist. He started shotgun on the field. Cameron wisely gets around him. And now it looks like Almquist is going to drop down to the bottom of the racetrack. Here's the battle between Harvick and Cameron. Harvick in the 75, member, a former track champion here at Mesa Marin. Won it when he was a senior in high school. Half the Bakersfield high school population was here on Saturday nights. Terry Collins has officially withdrawn from the race tonight, so a tough break for the America's Choice Motor Oil Monte Carlo. There's a lot of high hopes resting on that Winston West entry tonight with Gary Collins. Austin Cameron knows now, goes to the inside, side by side with Harvick. Cameron hammering these two youngsters going at it here in the Re-Refined Oil 200 as Harvick and Cameron choose each other on, and Austin Cameron, the youngster from El Cajon, California, shows Kevin Harvick the way.
I got to believe Kevin Harvick, with his experience here at Mesa Marin, he knows that the race is not going to be won here on lap 48. He's got a long way to go in 150 laps. He wants to save those tires, maybe for possibly only one pit stop.
It's very possible, but he's got a problem in the front end of that race car. His brakes are glowing red, and we can see that every time he comes around the racetrack. Meanwhile, Sean Woodside has everything going his way, and the 55 car now throwing a lot of smoke. Bo Lemler is smoking pretty heavily. They're going to take a look at him, and the NASCAR officials will throw a black flag if they see anything coming out of the back of that Pontiac. But a tough break for Bo Lemler. As Bo back up front, the 07 and the 16 at Sean Woodside. Gary Smith going at it. Woodside has had it all his way. Gary Smith trying to find a way around, and the 55 car of Bo Lemler gets posted. He'll come down pit road. Let the NASCAR officials take a look at him. Now we see some heat developing in the front wheel of the disc area of Sean Woodside's Pontiac, and that could be trouble. We're only in lap number 52, and brakes are getting hot already. Speaking of hot, the battle for first and second is coming up on a lot of lap traffic, and we'll see what kind of medal they have right now as they continue with race action here at the Re-Refined Oil 200. Sean Woodside is your leader, and he is in a ton of traffic.
Well, if you want to talk about rush hour, this is what it's like on the back straightaway at Mesa Marin on the 76 in-car camera of Sean Woodside as he continues to battle his way through lap traffic. Man, it gets tough when you have to come to the back, especially when the cars are going a lot slower than you are. We are going to be right back at Mesa Marin.
Marty's here. Okay, let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Probe.
Multi-port?
It's too easy. How about a gasket for a Yugo?
With sealer?
EGR valve for a 74 Gremlin.
See you tomorrow, Marty.
Now, get 4 of our 35,000-mile tires, only $99, or double your mileage with 4 70,000-mile tires, just $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
Experience Two-Wheel Tuesdays on Speedvision.
Larry Naston, Barry McKeever, and you, and we're all at Mesa Marin Raceway for the Re-Refined Oil 200.
Here's Butch Gilliland. He's in the 4th spot. The 3rd place is Austin Cameron. Gilliland, the series champion, trying to defend his honor here at Mesa Marin, has not had good luck this weekend here. He has had trouble in practice. He had trouble qualifying. And Gilliland now seems to be running better in the race.
Butch Gilliland here, the defending NASCAR Winston West Series champion, running a Ford Taurus tonight. This is the car that he ran at California Speedway just a few weeks ago. They wanted to bring in their Thunderbird, but couldn't get it ready because he crashed it. He has struggled since that win. He won in the first race of the season here in the series.
Yeah, it's been very tough on Butch Gilliland, but he's got a great experienced crew down there that can get this Strong Motorsports Ford, the Pro Insulation Ford, out in front. But there's a lot of things going on the racetrack right now. There's great battles all over the place. Here's a shot of Gilliland now trying to go after Austin Cameron. Remember, this is for the 4th place on the racetrack. The running order right now is, of course, Sean Woodside, your leader. Gary Smith in spot number 2, Austin Cameron in spot number 3, number 1 of Butch Gilliland, and number 75, Kevin Harvick. That's your top 5 as we're in lap 60 of 200. Here's Sean Woodside now. Very smooth on this racetrack, Barry, and we talked a lot about the tire wear on these tires, and they seem to be running very well. The interval now about 3.5 car lengths as Woodside continues to be able to run anywhere on the racetrack to get around lap traffic, Barry.
Well, Sean Woodside loves this track, as we mentioned earlier, but he also loves to be out in front. He loves to be the guy who's setting the pace, and he's really settled in. Gary Smith knows that he's not going to win by battling out right here. They're just going to both lose by wearing those tires down on lap number 62. Long way to go, the 200-lapper.
Might be the most important thing we talked about all night, Barry, is the fact that this is a 200-lap race. It's a long way to go. But Sean Woodside's pretty smart on this deal. Let's find out exactly how he planned to race this race this weekend.
I have a lot of laps here. I'm pretty comfortable, you know, running the outside where some of the new tracks you're kind of iffy if the car is going to stick. I know the car will stick here, and you know, I know all the little bumps and every little thing about this racetrack, so it probably gives you a little advantage. It makes you comfortable in the car, and that gives you confidence, and that's what you got to have to win.
You know, a lot of people don't even believe Sean actually uses that. He says, in fact, you can come over to my pit and watch me pour it in the motor, the same bottle that you pull off the shelf. And, you know, a lot of people actually think this re-refined oil is actually better than the first use oil because of the impurities that they pull out of it.
Absolutely. And, you know, they're not going to put something on the top of one of these cars that they're not using, because imagine the repercussion of that, Barry. This re-refined oil is for real, and people need to start believing in it because it is absolutely incredible. Both the Firebird re-refined and the American Choice. There's Bo Lemler right now, who's burning a little bit of oil on his own now as we continue to watch race action here at Mesa Marin Raceway. Sean Woodside continues to lap around this racetrack, and Barry, as he said earlier, this guy knows how to get around here.
Exactly, and there's his buddy Sean Monroe, Flame the Surfer dude, right out of Malibu. Good ride for him. Jason Small supposed to ride in this car early on in the evening, had some problems with the race he was in, and Sean Monroe taking it inside of Bo Lemler. Still smoke coming out of the 55.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem for Lemler. NASCAR not thinking he's putting enough debris down, but as we see now, it's starting to get worse for the 55 Pontiac. Tough break for Bo Lemler. He's not making a whole lot of races, so it would have been good for him to maybe finish this one out tonight. Meanwhile, Sean Woodside in the Ray Clear Jones Cinema Vehicle Services Unical 76 Motor Oil Pontiac out in front, Barry. And I'll tell you, Gary Smith's behind him, but he's got a long way to go to catch him.
Well, he definitely is, and he's keeping such a nice, smooth line in and out of the turns. And Gary Smith is just backing off, and these two guys are just going out and running. Remember, they've got to save tires. Tire management is the most important thing that we've been talking about all night long. And Sean Woodside with a real clean line here.
Absolutely, and if Woodside can keep this up and keep this smooth pace, not in traffic, he's going to have a great benefit and a good chance to win this race. But you can't count out anybody in the top 5, especially Gary Smith in the Napa Brakes, number 16.
Well, Smith just happy with Woodside running out front here. And remember, we had so many yellow laps in the beginning of the race. That means that these tires are going exceptionally long here. Sean Woodside there keeping his Hoosiers nice and even, not getting them too hot. But we should see pit stops coming up momentarily, and they should be within the next 10 or 15 laps. So Woodside still way out in front with Gary Smith in second.
Jerry Kane looking back in the pack now. Kane going to put a lap on the number 13 of Steve Almquist. Jerry Kane is running for Rookie of the Year this year and has a good run. Jason Shear doing the crew chiefing on that vehicle. Jason, a long time NASCAR Winston Racing Series crew chief, has got Jerry Kane at least pointed in the right direction, and actually have had some pretty impressive showings thus far in 1998.
Jerry Kane, also a guy who won a couple world and national championships on a jet ski.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's had quite a large run. Now we have somebody right up into the wall in the front straightaway, and that is Eric Norris in the 32 car, the Prolong Lubricants Ford Thunderbird. A tough break for Eric Norris. He got drop kicked right into the wall, and Eric Norris has some damage now. The track is yellow, so we go yellow on lap number 73 of 200 here at Mesa Marin Raceway, and we'll be back with more of the Re-Refined Oil 200, the NASCAR Winston West Series at Mesa Marin, right after this.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and this is Craftsman innovation at its best. RoboGrip pliers, the best-selling single tool in Sears history. What makes the Craftsman RoboGrip so different? Arc joint pliers take 2 hands to adjust. Even then, they don't always fit and can round off corners. Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are the world's first self-adjusting one-handed pliers. With just a simple squeeze of the spring-loaded handle, the jaws automatically adjust for a perfect fit. Craftsman is the leader in hand tool breakthroughs, and RoboGrip is the proof. RoboGrip has laminated construction, too, for extra toughness and durability. And like all Craftsman hand tools, RoboGrip is guaranteed forever. And now Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are available in a versatile 3-pack with a 9-inch curved, a 9-inch V-notch, and a 7-inch straight RoboGrip, a $70 value for only $49.99. And it comes with protective RoboGuards, too. The RoboGuards slip on and off easily to protect chrome, brass, and other fine finishes. The Craftsman RoboGrip's offset head and unique interlocking steel jaws are designed for maximum gripping power. See how the jaws stay parallel while you clamp. They're tooled so precisely you can even pick up a pin. The handle is a Craftsman RoboGrip exclusive, ergonomically designed so it's comfortable and easy to use. The Craftsman RoboGrip works on faucets, pipes, and hoses, or for auto repairs. It has hundreds of household uses. The Craftsman RoboGrip 3-pack is a $70 value for only $49.99. A great gift idea. And because Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are from Sears, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. Innovation made these pliers the best-selling single tool in Sears history. There's just one more example of how Craftsman makes anything possible.
Happy Sears, rather credit card ready, and call 1-800-975-4747 to order your RoboGrip 3-pack with exclusive RoboGuards for only $49.99. This is a $70 value if ordered separately. Call 1-800-975-4747 to order now.
Welcome back to Mesa Marin Raceway under yellow flag condition, the 4th caution of the evening, lap number 74. Now the pit window was all but destroyed a while back when we had our red flag on the racetrack, and they've run some laps under yellow here. Now the question, Barry, is will the leaders go into the pits? We see some of the guys, Kelly Tanner making his way on pit road. There's Eric Norris on pit road right now, and we'll see if the mad scramble happens. Will they give up the track position? They know they're going to have to pit, but is now the time? Looks like Woodside was okay on everything but fuel. We'll have to find out. Sean looks like he's going to stay out there. It doesn't look like he's going to come in, and yes, he does. He does dive down on the pit road, and looks like no, he pulls a snake job. Woodside went all the way down to pit road and then turned right back up on the racetrack. I think he's been watching a little bit of the NASCAR Winston Cup. Boy, did he pull one on the number 88 car. The 88 followed right in there, and Jeff Streeter had nowhere to go but down pit road. Well, still under caution in the Re-Refined Oil 200. Eric Norris, who caused this caution, is now back down on pit road. Barry's been trying to get in and out of that pit to try to keep on the lead lap, but unfortunately for Eric, this may be a valiant try with not a whole lot to gain, as the crew now is going to go under the hood. That will almost certainly guarantee him being one lap down.
Well, Eric's a guy that is trying his first big series here in the full season, the NASCAR Winston West Series. He's got a great sponsor, Prolong Super Lubricants. They built this team and this car from the bottom up this year, but he's had trouble testing. He hasn't had the time. he is still working on his dad. Of course, his dad is Chuck Norris and the Texas Ranger, Walker Texas Ranger. He's the stunt coordinator and directs a lot of the shows. So very tough to get time to drive a race car when you're a superstar.
Absolutely. Jeff Davis has a problem now on the Lexan windshield of his Ford Thunderbird, as Jeff has got the strap that holds the Lexan in place flying up like a automatic antenna. So they'll bring him down to pit road and get that all straightened up. NASCAR's got some great safety rules, and they have sure applied here in the Winston Racing Series over the years and the Winston West. They do not let you run when things are not right. They will pull you in a heartbeat, and that's what's going to happen with Jeff Davis as Jeff continues to circulate the racetrack. His spotter probably hasn't picked that up yet, but you can bet NASCAR has. And the rest of the field now getting ready for a restart. And Sean Woodside is the man on the pole right now. He's leading on the outside. Lead lap cars to the outside. Everybody else to the inside. Here comes Woodside now. Pick up the throttles. They barrel down into turn one. We're back under green flag racing in lap number 79. And we had a couple of drivers just about getting into the wall as things got very busy in 1 and 2. And you can see them down the back straightaway. They were all bunched up. They went in 4 wide, and that cannot be done here at Mason Rim or any other racetrack. Out in front, Woodside gets away from everything and continues where he left off, way out in front as we enter lap number 80. Out in front, Sean Woodside. In spot number 2, Gary Smith. And in spot number 3, it is Wayne Jacks on the racetrack. However, it is Woodside who is still leading, and Butch Gilliland had a problem and went up into the wall in between turn 3 and 4. That is your NASCAR Winston West champion from 1997. The track is still green. Gilliland's going to try to pull it down, but he's going to have to go around one time. Now the track goes to yellow, and Wayne Jacks tried to get a lap back and couldn't do it. Sean Woodside beat him across, so Wayne Jacks is not going to regain his lap as we're in lap number 82 under a yellow flag condition.
Strange to see what happened with Butch Gilliland there. He's coming down the back straightaway going into 3, and he just drifted way, way high. And once you get in those marbles up high, you're virtually going to hit the wall unless you slow way, way down. That's exactly what Butch Gilliland did. I don't know if something broke or if he had tire wear or a tire problem, but right now it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the yellow, whether the leaders are going to go in.
Well, Butch Gilliland definitely going to go down onto pit road. Gilliland having problems in the number 1 car. And unfortunately for Gilliland, this will most likely put him 1 down.
So the crew will have to work real hard to get the Mission Foods race car back out on the track as they come down onto pit road now. The crew feverishly goes to work. They're going to dump some fuel, Barry. And while we are in a yellow flag situation, maybe down the road, this might be a little bit of an advantage.
It could be. The most important thing here is we take a look at Wayne Jacks. As you mentioned, he's going to have to wait for the field to come back around. He did not get his lap back from Sean Woodside. But the most important thing, of course, is with Butch Gilliland, it's got to be that tire wear. He's got to keep those Hoosiers going, and they got brand new left sides as he gets back underway and back out onto the track.
See him watching out of pit road right now.
So once again, your leader is Sean Woodside, followed by the number 16 of Gary Smith.
Barry, again, when the green flag is out, there's some great racing all the way through the field. The only runaway at this point seems to be Sean Woodside, but Gary Smith is not letting him get away.
Exactly. Those 2 guys up front are running away from the rest of the field, but when we are green, it is just door handle to bumper racing, especially on this tight half-mile oval. But the 2 guys up front, Woodside and Smith, running incredibly fast.
Sean Woodside been the dominant force here. 76 re-refined oil, Pontiac Firebird, the Golden West Trailers, Cinema Vehicle Services. Pontiac has not looked back all night tonight as he will again pick up the pace and lead the field as we start racing back on lap number 85 of 200 here at Mason Marin Raceway. Woodside now gets around Jacks. Jacks is 1 lap down. And now there's the lap car of Wayne Jacks in between first and second place. And lo and behold, here comes Kevin Harvick in the 75. So Harvick now with the yellow has got closer to Gary Smith. He's trying to make a move on him as they go down the straightaway. Harvick trying to put a move on him in turns 1 and 2. Harvick will go low. That's where he likes to operate. Smith, on the other hand, a little bit less aggressive in the corners. But Harvick's a hard charger, Barry. You've seen him here many times. He'll run it right to the bottom.
Exactly, and that is the preferred line as we are yellow. And the number 1, Mission Foods, Ford Taurus, and Butch Gilliland is stopped in turn number 4. Butch actually spun that car around in turn 4. We see he's got a right rear flat tire. Let's take a look at it from inside Butch's car. Yeah, there it goes. So tough break for Butch Gilliland as we end up watching him now trying to limp down onto pit road. We'll be back with more of the racing action here at Mesa Marin right after this.
For the restoration of your Chevelle, El Camino, Monte Carlo, GTO, Tempest, or Le Mans, if you want parts that fit like the originals, call Original Parts Group. When it comes to quality control and selection, no one beats Original Parts Group because they manufacture most of the parts they sell. The customer is #1 and service is a top priority at Original Parts Group, and they back it up with a 100% money-back guarantee. Call 1-888-OPG-CATALOG now for a free 1998 catalog. Call Original Parts Group before you restore.
The U.S. Air Force, the most powerful military unit in history. Beyond the Wild Blue is a comprehensive video collection of the individuals, events, and machines from its first 50 years. From the earliest days through 2 world wars, Korea and Vietnam, the Cold War, and victory in the Gulf War, this 5-tape collector set is perfect for all aviation enthusiasts. To order Beyond the Wild Blue, call 1-800-WINGSPAN. That's 1-800-946-4772.
Experience Two-Wheel Tuesdays on Speedvision.
Welcome back to the Re-Refined Oil 200 at Mesa Marin Raceway. Larry Naston, Barry McKeever up top, David Stanfield down on the bottom. The top 5 running order right now is Sean Woodside, Gary Smith in the 16, Kevin Harvick in the 75, Jerry Kane in the 71, and Austin Cameron in the number 12. That's your top 5. We are in lap 90. It'll be 91 when the green flag comes out. The pace lights are out atop the Dodge Dodge Avenger. And Barry, again, we see the lead lap cars go to the outside. Sean Woodside had it all his way.
I got to keep track of right now, running in 6th. He started way in the back of the pack. Sean Monroe, number 14, Ken Small Construction. Chevy Monte Carlo has moved way up. He's now in 6th.
And he got no practice in that vehicle at all today as the green flag comes out now. And Sean Woodside this time gets a horrendous jump. And he crosses the stripe 3.5 car lengths up on Gary Smith. Smith now going to have to bury the throttle to try to not let Woodside get away from him. Again, Wayne Jacks is on the inside of Harvick. Harvick now is 4th on the racetrack, 3rd in the race. Harvick's going to have to try to get around him as they continually race action. Lap number 92 in the books. Woodside your leader. And Barry, it's been all Woodside tonight. But the story now is, when is he going to come in for fuel? They've been out for an awful long time. In fact, 92 laps in the books. The normal pit window here at Mesa Marin is about 70 laps. What's the story?
Well, that red flag that they had earlier, as well as so many yellows, has upped this race. And they say that they can actually go 110, 120 if they need to on these tires. But that is pushing it, and it's scary.
Yeah, but what about fuel? Now you got to start thinking about fuel. Kevin Harvick now goes to the inside of Wayne Jacks, and he now will try to secure the 3rd position. But Wayne Jacks, being tough, want to gamble on losing another lap. He's keeping Harvick at bay. 8 cars are on the lead lap in the Re-Refined Oil. 9 cars, excuse me. The number 40 race car of Kelly Tanner is the last car on the lead lap in the 9th position. We are on lap number 95. 105 laps remain in the Re-Refined Oil 200. And so far, it has been all Sean Woodside all night long, as he has had command over this field. a good battle and a good race with Gary Smith and Kevin Harvick. Jerry Kane now moves up. So does Austin Cameron. And perhaps the most exciting youngster, Austin Cameron, putting in one of the best drives of his career. You also have to give a nod to Sean Monroe, who substituted for Jason Small this evening after Small was overcome by carbon monoxide fumes in his NASCAR Winston Racing Series late model. Monroe just said, no problem, I'll jump right in, strapped himself in, got a drink of water, and ran 100 laps earlier, now running 200 laps, Barry. So he's got to be getting tired. Plus, he has no idea how this car is operating, considering he just got out of a car that weighs 1,500 pounds less.
Exactly. He's been in one of these NASCAR Winston West cars just a few times before, but he can drive anything. He's driven on the All-Pro Series several times, the late models here, and then we saw him, of course, in the Featherlight Southwest Series last night.
A lot of promising drivers in the NASCAR Touring Series all across America getting their start at racetracks just like this, Mason Red Raceway. Over 100 NASCAR Winston Racing Series tracks make up the backbone of NASCAR racing, the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. If you get the opportunity to visit a local racetrack, do so. It is a great entertainment here at Mesa Marin. Weekly shows. Have a lot of fun out here. If you're ever out in this part of California, come and join us for a couple hours on a Saturday night. See some of the finest late model, street stocks, and Grand America Modifieds.
That's right, and as you mentioned, all over America, the NASCAR Winston Racing Series has become the dominant grassroots racing series in all of NASCAR. As we near the halfway point here, Sean Woodside, still your leader.
Looking for some of that Gatorade money that gets awarded during the midway point of the race. We'll be back with more of the Refined Oil 200 right after this. Don't go away.
Geico presents the following safety tip.
The most dangerous time to drive is Sunday at 2 a.m. when people are returning from parties and long weekend trips. If you must drive late at night, take extra care.
Unfortunately, most drivers are hitting the same place every time. And it's usually when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
I'm looking for somebody who knows their parts. That'll work.
For expert advice, go to the pros.
Welcome back to Mesa Marin Raceway. Larry Naston and Barry McKeever up top. David Stanfield on the bottom. We're at lap number 103. As many races as we see here at Mesa Marin in the NASCAR Winston West. This is the 34th time the series has visited the half mile in Bakersfield. I cannot recall anybody ever running over 100 laps for any reason before they came in for a pit stop. And Sean Woodside now doesn't even have an intention of going in. So obviously the yellow flags and the red flag that we endured earlier in the Refined Oil 200 has made for some late race strategy.
Sean Monroe gets spun around and keeps it underway. Not a yellow out yet. The number 14, Ken Small Construction, Chevy Monte Carlo. And you got to believe tire wear is becoming a big factor, Larry.
Absolutely, because it looked like nothing even happened to him. It just went sideways and kind of threw away, but luckily didn't go anywhere but straight. That helped Sean Monroe out. Let's take a look at it. Here he comes, seemingly okay through the apex of the turn. Boom. All of a sudden, he is sideways. A tough break for him, Barry.
Yeah, but the most important thing there is Sean Monroe keeps it going and keeps it clean as well. You see the number 1 of Butch Gilliland getting by, and everybody's clean.
There is a lot of traffic in front of the leaders right now. There's Woodside way on the outside, Barry. You've seen a lot of these Winston West races here, and the lappers can get you in some trouble.
Well, they sure can. You want to stay to the outside, but remember, you can't go too far to the outside and get up into what they call the marbles, which is the little rubber that has come off of the tires. You get high, you're going to go on the wall, so you got to be careful, but you also got to watch the guy behind you, and that's Gary Smith. He's coming on hard.
And lap traffic will definitely slow the leader down as Gary Smith now tries to formulate some type of plan. We are about 109 laps into the race now as we see some blue smoke coming out of the number 12. Austin Cameron spins in turn number 2. Everybody hits the brakes, and he gets right into the 88. Tough break, Jeff Streeter, and the 14 going sideways. And Sean Woodside goes sideways in the race car right in front of number 16. And Gary Smith did a fantastic job of getting around him. And then everybody goes wild. As we go back to yellow, we most certainly will see some pit stops now. Eric Norris has some heavy damage to the number 32. The hood is up all over the place on the race car. And here comes our leader into the pits now. Eric Norris making his way into the pits. But the story now is, how good are these pit crews going to be? Leaders are on pit road now. You've got Sean Woodside rolling in. Right behind him is Gary Smith.
The fight's going to be between Woodside and Gary Smith. See who gets out first. Mike Streeter, Gerald Tompkins, and the rest of the crew going to work on this 07 car of Sean Woodside. Here they come down on the pit road. Gerald jams the jack underneath. Mike and the crew go to work. Now this is going to be an all-important stop, Barry.
Well, notice you're changing the right side tires on the 07 of Sean Woodside, and that is a strategy that they've been using for years, and Ray Claridge likes to change right side first instead of left side. As they see cut the engine sign for the Eric Norris team, looks like he's done. Here they're working on the left side of the number 16 of Gary Smith.
And it's obvious Woodside's going to beat him right out onto pit road. McAnally's crew still working on Gary Smith's car. There they are, the Tribotech Napa Brake Chevrolet. Little battle scars right there, but they're going to get it back out on the racetrack. But it's an extended road, or extended stay on pit road. But the problem now for Gary Smith on the 16, the Napa Chevrolet, is there are some body parts that were laying on that rear wheel. And Barry, that's a tough break. You don't need a tire cut down here.
No, and I tell you what, he was running so great, Gary Smith was, and just disappointing, got caught. Man, just mayhem broke out all over the track. And remember, the NASCAR Winston West Series, they do race back to the start-finish line under the yellow.
And it looks like it might have been Jerry Kane who had the best pit stop down on pit road. Jerry Kane came out, and when they reset the field, Jerry Kane is going to be well up there. And as far as positions go, there's a good shot of Jerry Kane, the Deist Racing Safety Chevrolet, and Jerry Kane, of course, being crew chief this weekend by Jason Scheer, who has been with him for most of the year this campaign. And we're trying to see now if Eric Norris is going to be able to get back underway. Right now, that crew is having all kinds of problems with the prolonged Ford.
What would you give to be more confident? What would you give for the knowledge it takes to move with certainty through every business day?
For just $3.90 a week, the Wall Street Journal gives you the incisive writing, the big picture thinking you need to make better decisions, more confident decisions. Plus, with your paid subscription, you will get our updated guide to understanding personal finance, 170 pages of great money-saving ideas, plus our easy-to-use software. That's the guide and the software, a retail value of $18.95, yours free with a 10-week subscription to the Journal. Get the confidence that comes from reading the world's most trusted source of business news and information. Call now, 800-376-2600. That's 800-376-2600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Welcome back to Mason Marin Raceway, the NASCAR Winston West Series Re-Refined Oil 200. Jeff Davis, Blair Aiken, Kelly Tanner, Sean Woodside, Jerry Kane, the top five. Here's a look at what started this. Austin Cameron in the Neil Electric Chevrolet goes sideways. Now here's where the problem starts. He rolls back down the racetrack. That puts him right into the number 88 of Jeff Streeter. And here's a look from the inside of Sean Woodside's leading Pontiac.
Well, there you see Monroe, and here comes Monroe again. Sean Monroe on the 14 Woodside in the 07. And Monroe, you got to believe once again that is just tire wear. These tires are not meant to go that many laps without changing them. And that's basically what happens. Austin Cameron going to be brought in for a stop-and-go penalty.
You can't blow the sign. And now they're going to back him up. If they touch the car right now, they're in trouble. All they can do is push it backwards. And the officials now telling Austin Cameron, you got to be in your pit box. That's exactly right. You cannot do that. You cannot make that type of mistake. If you go to work on your car and you are over your pit stall, that is immediately go back to the field and they will delay you. And that's exactly what's going to happen right now as the NASCAR Winston West officials put a hold on Austin Cameron.
You know, and that's tough because he was running so well up in the top 5. But that happens when you're a youngster, when things start to go wrong, as happened there. He committed all those nasty NASCAR sins, and it's going to drop him back into the field. Nonetheless, a very good learning experience for the youngster, Austin Cameron.
Wayne Jacks comes in too, and he is over the pit stall, but obviously they're just putting water on Wayne Jacks. It is very warm down on the bottom of the racetrack, and here we go, getting ready now. The pace car pulls off the racetrack, and we'll see yellow flag conditions still, but we're looking for green this time around. We are in lap number 114. The green flag is out. We're back to race action in the re-refined oil 200.
Jeff Davis is shown as your leader. There they are, 3 wide going into 1. Jeff Davis, your leader out front, who pit earlier, so we'll see if he's going to make it a 2 pit stop. Meanwhile, Sean Woodside shown right there in the 3rd position.
Sean's 3rd on the racetrack, but he's going to have to work to get back up into the lead right now. Kelly Tanner is ahead of him in the number 40, the native of Washington, trying to get around Woodside, trying to make sure that he can get himself or keep Woodside at bay. Remember, Woodside's been the strongest race car on the track. 116 laps are down to 200, the re-refined oil 200, and there is the 76 Firebird Motor Oil Pontiac driven by Sean Woodside. Good view coming down the front straightaway here at Mason Marin. An unusually fast half mile here, and qualifying this afternoon under a warm sky was very fast. In fact, the pole sitter was only 0.03 of a second off a track record here, and the track record that was set here was done in April of '96 by Butch Gilliland. So very fast here this weekend. Jeff Davis still out in front.
Blair Aiken is being shown in 2nd position right now. Kelly Tanner in 3rd on the track. But remember, those 3, so we've got a yellow flag out.
And it's Bo Lemler going into the wall just outside of turn 4 on lap number 119. And that's another yellow flag that may have people coming in again to finish up pit stops that are on the racetrack. Here's another race car now up against the side of the fence. Ron Burns, the Arizona Sport Truck Ford. He's got all kinds of problems as he buries himself down back onto pit road. Now Burns has to complete the lap. He's going to get docked a lap here. You cannot come into the pits that way, and obviously Burns is going to get a penalty assessed to him, but unfortunately he is well back in the pack as we continue under the yellow flag condition as Lemler now has a little oil fire underneath the 55 Pontiac, and Bo Lemler, Barry, has had problems when he spun. Here's a shot now of Burns going into the wall, but Lemler on his fire situation had that smoke coming all morning or all evening long.
He did, and you got to believe that had something to do with it here as they're working on the number 26, and Lemler just stuck up against the wall, and he's looking for help. That car's in. Here comes Sean Woodside back into the pits.
This is a gutsy move right here for Sean Woodside.
This is definitely an unscheduled stop. As we saw earlier, Sean Woodside and his crew actually changed a different set of tires. They changed right side tires. Now they're bringing him in to change left side tires. So he's got 79 laps to go, and he's going to be on fairly fresh tires. You got to believe they're going to go all the way.
And the same thing for Jerry Kane as they brought Jerry Kane in, and Kane now works his way down onto pit road, and this could be the same type of spot. Remember, these top 5 cars have been running very strong all night. Jerry Kane having the best run of the year in his NASCAR Winston West campaign, but the story still is Sean Woodside. No matter where he comes out of the pit stall now, he is the guy to watch to move up to the front, and now with a full load of Unocal gasoline and tires on his race car, he is going to be awful tough for the rest of this race.
And what a great pit strategy by Ray Claridge and the entire team on the 1-800-CLEAN-UP 76 Lubricants Pontiac Grand Prix. He's getting those tires new, getting the pits out of the way, because now you got to believe Kevin Harvick, as he goes on, can he make it the whole way without stopping? Harvick's up there fast. I don't think these guys can make it, so great move by the 07 crew.
Well, we are going to find out when we come back with more of the re-refined oil 200 from Mason Marin Raceway right after this.
This race started in Europe, but the finish line is in Monterey. The Visa Sports Car Championships, presented by Honda, come to Laguna Seca Raceway October 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Saturday, teams from Ferrari, BMW, Ford, and Chevrolet battle it out in the U.S. Sports Car Championship finale. Sunday, the exotic FIA GT cars of Mercedes, Porsche, Viper, and BMW compete to decide the FIA GT World Champion. For tickets, call 1-800-327-SECA or visit any Bass ticket outlet. For the best of both racing worlds, it's Laguna Seca Raceway.
Hello, I'm Derek Daly. Have you ever thought what it might be like to push a race car to its limits? Well, for most of my life, I did just that, and now I want to share those thrilling moments with you at the Derek Daly Performance Driving Academy. You can walk through our doors with no experience and have the thrill of a lifetime. From the classroom to the racetrack, and all just minutes from the world's most exciting city of Las Vegas. To begin your racing adventure, simply call 1-888-GO-DEREK and begin to live your dream.
The Gulf Channel celebrates the legendary Arnold Palmer and the premiere of our exclusive documentary with Arnold Palmer Week. Beginning Monday, October 26th, experience the most unforgettable moments of Arnold Palmer's past championship tournaments. From his first professional victory to his phenomenal and charismatic career. On Wednesday, October 28th at 8 Eastern, Golf Talk Live, The Palmer Legacy, a preview to the world premiere of Arnold Palmer, Golf's Heart and Soul at 9 p.m. Arnold Palmer Week, only on the Golf Channel.
Welcome back to Mason Raceway in Bakersfield, California, the re-refined Oil 200. Mason Raceway, now in its 22nd season, is fastly regarded as the gem of the West Coast for NASCAR racing. But it didn't just happen by chance. It's the hard work of the Collins family, led by Marion Collins.
Mason Raceway was kind of put together in 1970, and we started putting a program together, figuring it out, how to build it, what to do with it, and all this sort of stuff. And it took us 5 years for us to get the county to allow us to build a facility. And so in 1977, we got it built and opened, and our first race was in April or May of 1977. And so we've been running anywhere from 25 to 35 races a year for the last 22 years here at Mason Raceway, and we've been able to accomplish several things and become one of the most popular racetracks in the western United States.
The day-to-day operations are very much a family affair, with Marion's son Larry serving as Vice President of Operations.
You know, we pulled together as a family to try to make things work. I mean, we operate it as a business, of course. We're out here 6 to 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You know, we spend our holidays together. Sometimes we spend our vacations together. So we see a lot of one another. But the big, you know, looking at the big picture, I mean, it's great. I wouldn't change it for anything. My dad, you know, he's just been someone that's worked hard his whole life. And when he wanted to build a raceway, he just applied a lot of hard work to it and brought us along, you know, seeing that that's the way you make things work. I mean, nothing comes easy. I mean, we work hard every year. Some years are good, some years aren't so good, but yeah, I love it.
Lights out atop the pace car. Welcome back to Mason Marin as we get ready to bring you lap number 126 of the re-refined Oil 200 for the NASCAR Winston West Series. Larry Naston, Barry McKeever, and David Stanfield like a track athlete running up and down pit road for us. David has a lot to cover. 7 cars on the lead lap as we get ready to go back into green. The Haddad Dodge pulls off the racetrack. And out in front it is still Jeff Davis showing the way. And behind Jeff Davis is the number 69. The 69 being driven by Blair Aiken out of Lakeport, California. Aiken has never run this high in a NASCAR Winston West race before and doing a good job holding on to spot number 2. Kelly Tanner is right behind him. Then Kevin Harvick, then the number 16 of Gary Smith as they go 2 by 2 by 2 into turn 2. And a little contact down the back straightaway. Aiken goes to the lead, but he smacked Jeff Smith on the way. That caused a problem with Kelly Tanner. And we are not under a yellow flag. It is still green, but boy, did that slow up Kevin Harvick and Kelly Tanner.
Look at those guys right there. There's a lot of damage to both vehicles, and that's going to put them way back in the pack. With the guys who are flying up there, they're right there. You've got a left rear flat on the number 40 of Kelly Tanner, and maybe a right rear flat or or something problem or something wrong there on the Spears Motorsports Chevy Monte Carlo. Kevin Harvick.
That's not good. With less than 75 laps to go, they can make it the rest of the way. Harvick obviously having some type of problem with the race car. Looks like the front fender's in just a little bit. Kelly Tanner will come down pit road. Kevin Harvick will come down pit road. Craig Rodman, who doesn't figure into the top 10 right now, will come down pit road. And Kevin Harvick, meanwhile, has got to bring his car to the attention of that Spears manufacturing crew. They got to get him back in the top 10, Barry. The points are way too important.
There's your points leader still in the pits, but meanwhile, Sean Woodside making up some good ground and running fast laps in that 76 Firebird Oil lubricants. And watch him saw on the wheel as he goes into turn number 1, keeping it nice and low. That car is handling nicely.
Absolutely. You used the term saw. Speaking of saw, they're sawing that fender off that car right now for Kevin Harvick. But when you looked at that in-car camera shot of Woodside, he did saw it once, but it didn't come back. Woodside trying to make himself gone. Here's Jeff Davis right now in the Ultra Shield race car, trying to move out in front to get some more positions. Here's another shot. Now watch the steering wheel here. Look at how smooth that transition is. That's not sawing that much, Barry. You're right. His car's working perfect.
It sure is. And the less you saw it, the less you're going to see that car moving around. And the more tires that are on the track, the faster that thing's going to go. And Sean Woodside is flying up. He's a guy to watch right now.
Absolutely. Racing continuing the re-refined oil 200. All of a sudden, this thing's turned upside down. We've got real racing going on, and these guys are flying. There's Gary Smith, the young rookie out of Malahat, British Columbia, Canada, won the Rookie of the Year last year. Bill McAnally bailed out of that ride, which was unbelievable to get a racer to get out of his car. But he told Napa, look, you want to win some races? Let me put this kid in. He didn't even ask for more money, but he built 3 more race cars. Gary Smith's going to reward him with a win, and it's going to be soon. He is a great driver. They ran out of money in the 09 car. McAnally said, wait a minute, I can improve my program. Yeah, I'll be a car owner. I'll drive every once in a while. But right now, Gary Smith is a man on the point as he continues to dominate people in that Bill McAnally-owned Chevrolet.
Shows not only a lot of maturity, but a smart decision. Ron Burns is spun in turn 4.
Lap number 133 sees Burns go sideways. Tough break for him. If it was a sprint car race, the 2-spin rule would be in effect, but unfortunately for Ron, it isn't, and he's going to have to come down pit road. Now, remember, he was already taken 1 lap back for coming in off of pit road.
Property owners, why risk taking your lawnmower where it was never meant to go? Now there's a better way to mow overgrown areas without hassle. The DR Field and Brush Mower works like a tractor-drawn brush cutter, but in a size just right for homeowners. Its big 8-horsepower engine has the power to mow tall weeds and brush, even saplings up to 1 inch thick. Power-driven wheels roll easily over rough ground. Rugged front skids ride right over humps and bumps. The DR is perfect for mowing overgrown fields, thinning underbrush from woodlots, widening driveways, and maintaining roadside ditches for better visibility. So why let weeds and brush take over your property? Keep it looking great with a DR Field and Brush Mower. Call toll-free 1-800-971-5959 for your big color catalog all about the amazing DR Field and Brush Mower, plus special savings now in effect. That's 1-800-971-5959 for free DR details.
Welcome back to Bakersfield, California, in the NASCAR Winston West Series. Re-refined oil 200 coming in from Masonburn Raceway. We're under yellow flag conditions in the 07 of Sean Woodside back into the pits. They've got troubles on the right rear tire, and that is not a place to be. You see him working on the right rear. Not quite sure if a lug nut is tight or what's happening. Gary Smith now is coming out of the pits, and it is pandemonium down there. Not a good place to be at all there.
Absolutely not. And the problem here is with 63 laps to go, you got to be thinking, why come in if it's not flat? So we'll see just what the problem was for Sean Woodside. But Gary Smith came in too, so maybe it's not as bad as it could have been. Here's Blair Aiken coming in the number 69 race entry. Aiken has led a couple laps tonight, so obviously a good day for him no matter what happens now. But Barry, as we get into the closing part of this race, this re-refined oil 200 is going to get wild.
You betcha. And let's take a look at Ron Byrne getting high and forward. We talked about those marbles high on the outside line. Not a place you want to be. And you see Byrne spun for the 2nd time of the night in turn number 4, heading the wrong way.
Yeah, tough break for him as he's spun now on almost every corner of the racetrack. And here we go back again, getting ready to start, Barry.
And Jeff Davis is still your leader. Lap cars on the inside. Davis followed by Jerry Kane. Here they come to the start-finish stripe. Davis takes him into one, a nice low line. And look who's moved up in a second spot. That's Jerry Kane from Canyon Country. Also back up there, Butch Gilliland, your defending champion of the NASCAR Winston West Series. He had trouble. He spun earlier. He almost hit the wall, and here he is in the third position, and he's battling Jerry Kane for second.
And Butch Gilliland obviously used all those pit stops to his advantage to get his race car back out in perfect race trim. He is now in spot number 2. Moving past Jerry Kane, here comes Gary Smith now, whatever they did to his car on pit road work. And here's Sean Woodside. So we're shaping up for a slam-bam affair all the way to the finish. Jeff Davis now getting challenged, and Butch Gilliland goes to the lead, dispatching Davis back to spot number 2. Jerry Kane all over Jeff Davis. And here comes Sean Woodside. He's going to the outside of Kane now. Woodside in no man's land up there. They're going around a lap car right now. Bechtel gets passed again, throws some white smoke. Your leader is Jeff Davis in that group, but leading the whole ball of wax is Butch Gilliland. And Butch Gilliland is fast, and he is way out in front, but here's a great battle. This is for second, third, and fourth, led by that man right there in the Ultra Shield number 4 of Jeff Davis. There is no way that you could plan a better strategy than Butch Gilliland. And the funny thing is, Barry, he had nothing to do with the plan. Gilliland was lapped down. We're inside with Sean Woodside. You think it's fun doing this? It's incredibly wild here at Mesa Marin. Woodside now taken into 3. There you see, bringing low. And he's going to try to get inside of Jeff Davis. Here they come, past the start-finish line. He made a hole where there was no hole. He just barreled himself in there. Meanwhile, Gilliland, because of the racing, is able to pull away. But here's that heroic battle for spots number 2. 3, 4, and 5, they're occupied by Woodside in the 07, Davis in the 4, and we've got one in the wall. The number 13 now has spun into the wall. Steve Almquist out of Blythe, California, for the second time has spun around doing donuts out of turn 4. Tough break, Barry.
You betcha that is going to bring out the yellow flag as Almquist waiting for a ride around, but the story is, it's got to be, it is mano a mano, Sean Woodside versus Butch Gilliland.
It's almost mano a quattro. There's 4 guys that can maybe win this race. And here comes Gilliland down on pit row. This is way unscheduled. I do not understand the theory of this. Something obviously wrong. We are under a yellow flag condition. Here comes Gilliland. Looks like he's got some damage to the car on the bottom of the air dam where the jack goes down right now. They're going to put tires on this thing, Barry. That's a big gamble.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Mission Foods Pro Insulation Ford Taurus was the fastest car out on the track. And you see him changing the right side Hoosiers, but they figure that they've got fresh ones, and he's good enough, he's fast enough, he's going to run to the front.
Going to be very, very tough to do that. We're going to have to find out as they attend to Mr. Almquist right here as we continue with the re-refined oil 200. Don't even think about going away. This one's good.
You know, when we first started telling golfers that oversized is overrated, tour pros kept coming up to me and saying, "Come on, Raj, is the Tri-Metal really that good?" All I do is put it in their hand, because once they've hit this club, they've just got to have it in their bag. No club climbs to #1 on any pro tour without paying players, unless it's head and shoulders better than anything else they're using.
In the Tri-Metal, what you see is the culmination of 38 years of commitment to making the highest quality, best performing golf clubs in the world. That's a family tradition.
The robot proved the Tri-Metal is both longer and straighter. What's even more impressive about the Tri-Metal is how easy it is to hit. You can tee it low and hit long, straight drives off the tee. Or you can even hit it from a bad lie like this. Some of the most trusted experts in the game are talking about the Tri-Metal.
I've been doing television for 31 years, and people have learned to trust me. And I'm using it because 2 things. It looks good to me, and I hit it farther than anything else in my bag. Put the Tri-Metal in your bag.
This club, this technology is for real. It's the direction golf is headed. If you love golf, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. The fastest, easiest way is to call the 800 number. Oversized is over. The Tri-Metal is the right size club.
Call now to receive your free video on the #1 club in golf. When you call, we'll also rush you a free 1-year subscription to Great Golf Magazine, the insider's guide to new technology, stroke-saving tips, and in-depth interviews from the world of golf. Call the number on your screen now for your free video and complimentary subscription to Great Golf Magazine.
The boys of summer are banging and slamming at the Re-Refined Oil 200 in Bakersfield, California. NASCAR's West Coast Jewel, Mesa Marin Raceway, bringing you all the action tonight. Here is a piece of the Harvick machine, the Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet, as a crew member brings it back down to the pit area. Unfortunately, Kevin Harvick not going to be able to finish tonight. And our David Stanfield has been running all over pit row, and I think David has finally got down there to catch the driver of the Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
There's good luck, there's bad luck, but you know, all that aside, there's some good racing. You were very fast out there, obviously qualifying, and you didn't need to lead the first lap, did you?
No, I mean, we needed to lead 1 lap to get them 5 bonus points, and that's it. I mean, trying to save them good years today, and we had a good race car, but not meant to be. Front of the crankshaft broke off. Not our week.
Now we talked to your crew chief, and when you're in 5th spot, he says, hey, we're under control, we're running fast, it's a long race.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were just riding around trying to save the tires. We had a good car tonight, but I guess I can tell you that every week, even if it wasn't. We'll come back and get them next week.
And if I know Kevin, he will definitely be back with a vengeance.
Sean Monroe working his way in, trying to get a shot at getting a lap back. That's going to be very difficult to do. 3 wide racing going down into turn 1. Everybody okay? But man, it gets scary coming out of 2. When you're 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2, things get real busy. The NASCAR Winston West Re-Refined Oil 200 at Mesa Marin Raceway, and they're all bunched up as we watch Wayne Jackson, fellow racers coming down 3 wide. Brandon Ash in there as well. And there's your leader, the 07 of Sean Woodside out of Saugus, California, calling Mesa Marin Raceway his home track. 156 laps in the books, 44 to go in the Re-Refined Oil 200. In the first 100 laps, it was a lot of yellow. In the second half of this race, it's been good racing. When we've been yellow, we certainly have been yellow, but we have had some fantastic green flag laps and stories of Sean Woodside coming up, working himself into a frenzy. Look at this. 3 wide side by side into 1 and 2, and there is absolutely nowhere to go. Everybody has to check up, and we've got a battle brewing now between Butch Gilliland, Gary Smith, and Kelly Tanner, and they have been pounding each other like prize fighters the last 5 laps.
Smith takes over the 3rd position, followed by Butch Gilliland and Jerry Kane rounding out the top 5. These guys are not holding anything back. We are under 40 laps left. You see a puff of smoke. That was a little bit of tire smoke breaking too hard there for Butch Gilliland into turn 1.
If you're going to go, you got to go right now. And Sean Woodside is trying to check out of this. 162 laps are in the books. Here's Jeff Davis. Here's Gary Smith. And Butch Gilliland now goes to the outside of Gary Smith. And Jeff Davis is going to spin it around, and everybody comes to a stop. Davis gets hit by 1 car, rolls backwards onto the grass. Will go yellow at 163, and a tough break for Jeff Davis as he was running so high up in the field, and that'll put the yellow flag out. And a tough break again for the Ultra Shield Ford of Jeff Davis as we go back under a yellow flag condition. Well, Barry, it's getting real exciting now. People are starting to race for real.
These guys aren't holding anything back. Also, what happened was once Davis got sideways, Jerry Kane got collected as well. So he drops back. Blair Aiken moves up, but a whole lot of damage there.
And a tough break as they'll all scramble down pit road.
There's Jeff Davis bringing it in.
Man, Davis's crew are going to have to go to work, and it is a shame he ran so good. But look at the damage on the race car. It's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Luckily, everybody was able to check up, Barry.
Well, they did a great job avoiding him, but here you see they're going to go to work on the right
front fender, and the other thing is you got to believe he flat spotted those Goodyears, so they're going to put some brand new tires on the right side. The Ultra Shields Ford Thunderbird.
Here's another look at it. Davis now diving into the corner, and he just got upset. That's all there was to it. He started spinning long before the apex. He just held it. Here's where the problem came. Everybody tried to check up in this cloud of dust. He had one car come running right up on him right there, and boom, that was it. That's the 71 of Jerry Kane caused in that bump on the front fender. But they're going to bring that car on pit road like you saw right there to try to fix it, to get him back out underway. Remember, he's still on the lead lap. He will lose one, but it's been wild here at Mesa Marin. There's the crowd ready for some more racing action, and we will be too when we come back to Mesa Marin.
Looking for an exciting new career opportunity? Call now and check out Marine Mechanics Institute's comprehensive vocational training school for marine technicians. Veteran marine instructors teach you to repair stern drives, outboards, and personal watercraft. Financial assistance is available for those who qualify. MMI also offers lifetime graduate placement assistance. MMI's state-of-the-art campus in Orlando is endorsed or supported by all the major marine engine manufacturers. Call toll-free now for your career information kit at 1-800-922-9664.
At first, flying machines captivated the world. Then the vague theory of flight became a comprehensive system of warfare. Aviation's legendary pioneers and fighting aces established the basic techniques of air combat still used today. Now, World War I's quest for the air is captured on this 4-tape video collector's set with the most stunning authentic footage ever assembled. To order 4 Years of Thunder, call 1-800-WINGSPAN. That's 1-800-946-4772.
For an inside look at Chrysler's 1999 300M, the Concorde, and the LHS, tune in to a special edition of Manufacturer's Showcase.
Back at Mesa Marin Raceway in Bakersfield, California, the NASCAR Winston West Series Re-Refined Oil 200. And after lap 169, your leader is Butch Gilliland.
Sean Woodside and Gary Smith in the top three. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It has been all Sean Woodside, but now Butch Gilliland working his way back up to the top. Butch Gilliland trying to get a win. He is a champion of the NASCAR Winston West Series. He's got some experience here, but this is Woodside's home track. And Butch Gilliland's having all kinds of luck with the calls down on pit row. And speaking of that, David Stanfield is caught up with his crew chief.
David, how's Dad doing tonight?
We're doing real good. We had a flat tire there and came in and had to do some fancy footwork there for a little bit, but we got him back out front.
At one point, was he a lap down?
What was that?
At one point, was he a lap down?
Yes, we were. We were a lap down, and we just never gave up and fought real hard and got him out front with some new tires, and he was able to make it up, and now we're right where we want to be.
Has there been any puff of smoke coming out of the back?
Yeah, we got into Harvick early in the race, and we got a tire rubbing, but we're going to be okay. We're good to go.
Okay. We're winding down right now. What's the strategy?
Just give it all we got right now. We got about 30 laps to go, and we're good. We should be good for the end.
Best luck.
Thank you very much.
David Gilliland, son of Butch Gilliland, you see a little damage on his face. He got hit fine easy up earlier on today.
It's been real rough out here all night long, but it's some great racing, Barry.
And of course, Sean Woodside, we got a spin on the back straightaway. That's Jeff Davis again. And oh my goodness, 360 degrees, and he keeps it going, and we are still green. But Sean Woodside, as we mentioned, first of all, coming off a big win last race in Topeka, but with Kevin Harvick still in the pits right now, he's going to make a big advance on that points lead.
Kevin Harvick's going to have no chance to regain his point lead or regain any points. In fact, Harvick may be relegated back into spot number 2. Here comes Woodside now going for the lead. He's got Gilliland hung out to dry, but Gilliland hammers on the throttle. There is white smoke coming from the back of Gilliland's car, and it is hard to tell if that is tire smoke or engine smoke. Here comes Woodside down low on the racetrack. The 76 Firebird Motor Oil Pontiac trying to go to the lead in turn 1.
Here comes Woodside. Woodside gets sideways out of 2. He keeps it out of the fence. And here comes Gary Smith trying to challenge for the second spot, but Gilliland gets away.
And Woodside got very lucky, pulling a Steve Kinzer and throwing it sideways and keeping it on the pavement. Will not lose a position. However, he loses a lot of track space, and here it is. the real estate being taken up by Gary Smith as we are nearing the 24-lap marker before we're done with the re-refined oil 200 here at Mason Marin Raceway, Bakersfield, California. Memorial Day weekend, and a gorgeous one at that. A perfect night for racing as we watch Tony Tost now slow down on the front straightaway. Here comes Butch Gilliland now getting around Pappy Pryor. Pryor, the oldest driver in the field. Austin Cameron getting a lap back. Of course, that's not going to matter now, but here comes Woodside. I don't think that Gilliland knew where Woodside was, because here comes Sean Woodside down low to the inside of Gilliland as they head 4 wide down the back straightaway, and Gilliland's going to retain the lead. Oh, my.
Who says you can't go 4 wide here?
If you're thinking about getting up and getting something to drink, that'd be an unwise decision. Stay right here with us as we watch race action. Woodside has led a 4 abreast charge down the straightaway to try to get Gilliland. Gilliland's car was junk for most of the night. Through great pit stops, they have come back around. The team has sprung to life and given Butch Gilliland something to work with. And look at the 7 of Sean Woodside. Something wrong with that race car. And now Woodside coming down to a stop. There is a tire down. Lap number 180. And Sean Woodside now has a problem. He goes sideways. Pappy Pryor goes sideways. We are yellow. And the 07 was trying to go to the pits and ran into Pappy Pryor. So Sean Woodside, who was so dominant for the 170 or so laps, has a huge problem with Pappy Pryor as he tries to dive down on pit road. This will all but end the bid for the victory of Sean Woodside. And what once was the horse with the muscle is now the horse that's going to the barn. Looks like Sean Woodside is going to get it fixed, but he does not have a chance to take a win here. Tough break. We are under yellow. Don't go away. There are 12 laps to go in the re-refined oil 200 here at Mason Marin. We'll be right back. If you're going to stretch your legs, do it now, because when we come back, we're going for broke.
Presenting the first USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard. With a 3.9% APR for the first 6 months, then a low 9.99% thereafter. There's no annual fee, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and a free gift. How can you get all this? By calling 1-800-533-5546 now. Think what it could bring you. Greens fees, $116. Graphite shaft clubs, $877. Lunch at the turn, $13.50. Balls, tees, $36. Hole in one. And a witness, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's the first USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard. Call 1-800-533-5546 now and enjoy exceptional privileges and benefits. You could save hundreds of dollars by transferring your balances from higher interest rate credit cards. And you'll receive free a dozen Top Flight 3XL titanium golf balls with your first purchase or balance transfer. For a low 3.9% APR, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and no annual fee. Get the card that's a friend to golfers everywhere. Call 1-800-533-5546 and request the first USA PGA Tour or Senior PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard or the first USA Titanium MasterCard. The choice is yours, and so is this free gift. Call now.
Piece of debris on the racetrack here at Mason Marin Raceway, the re-refined oil 200. Here's what happened. Woodside narrowly escaped a major problem as he got clipped and that spun him around. He already had the flat tire. And then here's the problem with Wayne Jackson, Sean Monroe. and Wayne Jacks just T-boned Sean Monroe. Then Pappy Pryor gets involved, and a nightmare on turn 4 Street here at Mesa Marin. But boy, that could have been a lot worse. Good driving by Woodside and, believe it or not, by Wayne Jacks to avoid really just pegging him. Here's another look at it as Woodside goes wild. Pappy Pryor's already been in the wall once. Here comes Jacks spinning around, and everybody else getting by with relatively little damage, but that, Barry, could have been bad.
A pretty expensive bumper car action there between 3 and 4, but here's what's interesting is your leader there, Butch Gilliland, the number 1, gets together with Austin Cameron, and there's Ron Burns going down to the inside, and Gilliland narrowly escapes spinning out there as well with contact between the number 12, Austin Cameron.
Gilliland's been good as we see the speedy dry down on the racetrack right now to clean up any oil that came out there, but he's been awfully good, and these guys have really made some good calls on pit road. Obviously, they had some great strategy coming into the event this weekend as Wayne Jacks hops out of his race car. He is okay. That's good to report. But Butch Gilliland did great at the California Speedway, brought the same car here, which was a gamble at best. Butch Gilliland, along with his son, decided this is what they were going to do. Off the trailer, they were pretty strong. They qualified strong. And Butch Gilliland has been, well, from the worst you could be tonight, and he's moved himself into the lead position. So Gilliland obviously knew something coming into this race, something that Taurus had. And let's find out from Butch Gilliland exactly what he was thinking about bringing a super speedway car to a half-mile bank racetrack in Bakersfield.
Practice, you know, this car here we built brand new before the Fontana, California Speedway. The car was fast. We were running third until we broke a clutch. We decided to bring this same car here. We were going to run a short track Thunderbird. We decided to bring our Speedway car, and right off the trailer we were second fast. So I think the car and the track, everything, all that stuff is going to be really great for tonight.
Well, we got a report that Pappy Pryor is okay. So is Wayne Jacks. And Barry, this one's going to get good.
It sure is. Just a few more laps to go, and you got to believe Butch Gilliland is fast. Right behind him, though, Gary Smith on his tail.
Getting ready for the restart.
Still got to give Butch Gilliland the advantage. He loves Mesa Marin. He started the most out of the whole field here. The total of 23 times in Mesa Marin.
And Gilliland now works in lap number 193 as there are 7 to go for the Re-Refined Oil 200, the 76 Firebird and America's. Oh, and Jerry Kane almost gets in the wall. And Jeff Smith gets into the back of Jerry Kane now. Back up front, Butch Gilliland, the NASCAR Winston West champion, completing lap number 194. Gilliland will have 5 to go at the stripe. And what a story this will be if Gilliland can come back and hold on to win here at Mesa Marin after a poor qualifying and poor practice day. It would be unbelievable to conceive that he was able to fix that car that well. And just as we say that, the battle is starting to rage. Here comes Gary Smith, the driver, and the Bill McAnally Martin Sr. Paint Chevrolet is starting to work on the number 1 of Gilliland as they come down the front straightaway side by side. They dive down into turn 1. Gary Smith is knocking at the door, and Butch Gilliland won't answer.
Gary Smith trying the outside line, but with those tires worn down, the outside line is just not going to work here, but they're both loose. Here comes McAnally on the inside.
And Gary Smith puts the McAnally Chevrolet into the lead, but Gilliland out-throttles him into turn 1. Gilliland got sideways coming out of 4. Smith tried to take advantage of it. There are 3 to go. This one's a long way from being over. The Re-Refined Oil 200 is going to come down to the last 2 laps. When they come across the racetrack, we are in lap 198. We will see a white flag next time around. And now Gary Smith is digging as deep as that Chevrolet can go. So is Butch Gilliland in the Ford Taurus. They got a lapper in front of them, but Butch Gilliland is getting hammered on. Here comes Smith to the outside like a hawk. He's looking all over, inside, outside. Gilliland not giving up an inch. Here they come down the back straightaway for the last time in the Re-Refined Oil 200. Gilliland in lap traffic now, trying to work, and does. And here comes Smith side by side. We cannot tell who won. We We could not see who won. The shot was right across the stripe, and we are now being told that Butch Gilliland may have won the closest finish in NASCAR history in the Winston West Series, as they were door handle to door handle less an inch. What do you say about that? What can you say about Butch Gilliland and his crew tonight?
Absolutely nothing. You know, it was an ominous start for Butch Gilliland.
It was a horrible start for Butch Gilliland. He should have raced the street stocks tonight.
So Butch Gilliland is your winner of the Re-Refined Oil 200, and we'll be back to talk with the winner right after this from Mason Raceway.
Hey, no, down here. Instead of running out for stamps, shouldn't you be running your business? Imagine a simpler way. Get the personal post office from Pitney Bowes. Send mail without ever going out for stamps. Just weigh, punch in the postage, and voila. Professionally metered mail and no wasted postage. You can also add a personal message to get your mail noticed. And postage refills by phone in 30 seconds, day or night. Now listen up, because here's what you'll get. Besides a lot more time.
You'll get the personal post office and money-saving electronic scale.
So there's no wasted postage.
For a 90-day free trial.
Free is good.
You'll also get the mail marketer software.
Create really nifty direct mail to help your business grow.
Call now for your 90-day free trial, and you'll also get our mail marketer software absolutely free.
Now watch your business grow. Hey, I look good in red.
Be ready for the postage rate change. Call now for your 90-day free trial.
The personal post office. Mailing made simple.
This NASCAR Winston West Series race has been brought to you by 76 Lubricants Company. Firebird Re-Refined Lubricants, protecting your equipment, conserving our environment. And by CarQuest Auto Parts. Whatever you'll need, you'll find it at CarQuest. And by Safety Clean Corporation, America's Choice Re-Refined Oil. And a very happy Butch Gilliland, who probably still can't believe he actually came back and won this race, Barry.
Well, I'll tell you what, the guys who deserve just as much credit, the crew right behind him, they did a marvelous job getting him back in the lead lap and taking the win in another incredible race. Gary Smith bringing it to the finish.
Gary Smith did a great job. Here's the second to the last lap. This is where the race was actually won and lost because of the way they came in and out of turns 3 and 4. Here comes Smith to the outside. Gilliland hogging that bottom Hornaday line. Here they come, battling out. He gets a little sideways right here. Smith goes to the inside, nothing doing. Butch Gilliland took the win. Gary Smith, a great run for second. Blair Aiken finished third. And now let's go downstairs and talk to the second place finisher. He's with our David Stanfield. Let's go down and see Gary Smith.
Well, Larry, quite a race. I love it when it comes down to the last couple of laps. Had no idea if we were going to end under a yellow or not, and you really put in a good show.
Yeah, thank you. You know, this Napa Chevrolet ran real good, and Bill McAnally giving me this opportunity to run in this car. I'm just really happy. The crew did a superb job. You know, I'm just looking forward to the rest of the year. This is only the second time I've been in this race car, and we're sitting here second, and this team belongs in victory lane, and we're going to put them there soon.
A lot of emotions up and down. You don't know what's going on. It's a gamble every lap out there. And what did you think? What was going on? What were some of the hairier moments out there?
I mean, there's a couple spins down there in turn 4, and I mean, you can see the car, it's beat up, and I stopped for the wrecks, and I guess the other people didn't really want it. They wanted to drive through it and got into it. But like I said, that's part of racing, and we're sitting here in victory lane with this Napa Chevrolet. I'm Hoosier Tires. I'm really happy.
Take us to the last 5 laps. Boy, you put on a good show there.
Yeah, we gave her all we had. You know, I was underneath Butch there coming out of 4 and thought I had a good run, and he pinched me down a bit over there, and I might have been a little too much of a gentleman, but like I say, we had a good run, and like I say, we're going to sit in victory lane before the end of this year.
And although it's not a win, the strongest second place you could ever hope for, and this means what for the rest of the year?
I'm just, like I say, just starting to work with Bill McAnally and this whole team. I'm really ecstatic, and like I say, we're going to start winning races and moving up in points. I think this helped us today, and like I say, we're just looking forward to the rest of the season.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, obviously a very happy Gary Smith to finish second, but there's the man who won. And Barry, he went through a lot to get there. Here's the first problem, the flat tire.
And not only the flat tire, but later on in the race, you see here, he had to spin it and went all the way around, kept it clean in turn number 4, overcame all of that adversity.
And then the great work by this crew you see here. Obviously, they are the crew of the race. They worked, they never gave up, they dug even deeper, and this is what they got. A victory at Mason Raceway in the NASCAR Winston West Series. It's been a great race, the Re-Refined Oil 200. Let's go down with David and talk to Butch.
And thank you, Larry. Oh, Butch, congratulations. We're talking about a good qualifying, But coming into this race, there were a lot of doubts. You had to prove yourself again. You won the opening series race, and then things went sour for a while.
Yeah, you know, we won that first race side by side with Kenny Schrader, and then the next 3 races we've had nothing but bad luck. And you know, you start looking at it, is it new team or what is it? But it's just we've had some bad luck. We turned it around today, and this will be the start of it going in forward motion now.
I tell you, not a lot of luck, just good racing and consistency. But you were down a lap at one time. You had to have your doubts.
Well, you know, I never gave up. You know, the teams were always behind me, and the CPR racing engines built us a good engine with a lot of torque. So when they put new tires on it, it really made it easy to accelerate forward off these corners and make it fast.
Tell us about those last couple of laps. That was some kind of racing.
Well, you know, Gary Smith from with that new Napa team he's with Bill McAnally, the owner, they ran tough. You know, we knew that he was behind us, and you know, he's just a tough competitor, but I'll tell you what, we had a lot of car left for the end.
What about this crew and what this race means?
The crew's a great crew. You know, that they work hard to keep the car all prettied up and running good. And like I said, Mission Foods and all of our sponsors that make this thing happen, it's a great feeling to be here again.
You're so composed, quite a lead foot. What do you think, guys? Yeah! Back to you, Larry.
Well, we hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage of the NASCAR Winston West Series Re-Refined Oil 200. And pit strategy did play out, except I don't even think you and I knew it was going to be Butch Gilliland who took the win after being down a lap, had a couple of flat tires, spun around a couple of times. It was a wild night at Mesa Marin.
Incredibly exciting. Always comes down to the finish. Butch Gilliland, not only a win for him, but the entire crew.
Well, a great night of racing here in Bakersfield. For David Stanfield, I'm Larry Naston along with Barry McKeever. And until next time, we'll see you soon. This has been a Dynacom Sports presentation.